All right, everyone, in this video, we're going to be looking at converting from flow from cubic feet per second over to million gallons per day. Most commonly, we're going to be using this in like the pounds formula. You can use it in other scenarios, but that's where we're going to see it most commonly. So let's say we've got a certain flow rate. Let's say our flow rate is going to be 2.1 CFS, and that's what we're given. And our goal here is going to be to try to convert that flow rate from CFS to MGD, right, to million gallons per day. Now, remember, when we have CFS, we want to break that down as cubic feet per second, right? That's the flow rate we're starting at. We want to get to a point where we're looking at million gallons per day, right? That's our goal. So when we look at it this way, we've got to convert both the top from cubic feet to million gallons and the bottom for both seconds to days. Now we're going to start with the long version of this, and then we're going to back up and we're going to look at the shortcut that is now listed clearly on the new conversion sheet from the state of California. So if I'm trying to convert this, let's do the long way first. Remember that the long way is always going to get you the right answer. There's no doubt of whether you're supposed to divide or multiply, which way you're going. So we need to go from cubic feet to gallons. So the first step here to get rid of cubic feet is going to be to put cubic feet on the opposite side of my conversion factor. So it's going to go on the bottom. We're trying to bring in gallons. I know that there's 7.48 gallons for every 1 cubic foot. So this allows me to cancel out cubic feet. If I stop here, I just end up with gallons per second. So I need to go to gallons per day. Remember that you can go from seconds to minutes, minutes to hours, hours to days. You can go straight from seconds to days. It's kind of up to you. The most common way is seconds to minutes, and then we'll go from minutes to days, just because we're used to converting from CFS to GPM. So let's do that first. So let's take care of the seconds. Got to go on the opposite side to get rid of it. We're trying to bring in minutes. I know there's 60 seconds for every 1 minute. Now, if I stopped here, this is going to get me to GPM. That's a very common way we do it. Some of you are going to end up using the shortcut to go from CFS to GPM. Again, that's 448.8. I have a whole nother video on that. This essentially is the same thing, right? 7.848 times 60 gets me that 448.8. But this is now going to give me gallons per minute. I actually want to go to days. Now on the formula sheet here, it also tells me how to go from seconds, hours, minutes, days, has all those time increments. So I'm actually going to multiply now. I'm trying to get rid of minutes, so it's going to go up top. It's going to go on the opposite side. And I'm trying to get to days. I know that there are 1,440 minutes in 1 day. So multiplying in this format here is going to get me to gallons per day, right? And once I get to gallons per day, then I can just convert to million gallons from there. So let's run the numbers. 2.1 times 7.48 times 60 times 1440. I get to 1357171.2, comma. So 1,357,000, and this is going to be in gallons per day. Now I'm trying to get to million gallons per day. Remember that anytime you have gallons, you can get to mgs by just dividing by a million. Right? Remember, because there's 1 million gallons in 1 mg. A million gallons is really just a shorthand, less of a unit conversion. It's just a shorthand way of writing that. So divide by a million in your calculator, we're going to get 1.36 MGD, million gallons per day. Now remember, when it comes to this conversion here, there's 5, 6, 7 different ways to do this. As long as you're getting to that 1.36 MGD, you're on the right track. Now I want to show you the shortcut for this though, and I like to use this more now than before because it's on the new formula sheet for the state of California. So on this column right here, almost all the way to the bottom, you can see these 2 highlighted lines. One of them right here is a shortcut to go directly from MGD to CFS or vice versa. So let's take a look at that real quick. We start again with that same 2.1. I'm going to write out the conversion that's on this formula sheet in case you don't have yours or you're not right in front of you. But what it tells us is it says that 1 MGD is equal to 1.55 CFS. Right? That's a direct conversion. So all the little numbers that we just did, we basically multiplied those together to get to that 1.55 CFS. So what does it mean? It means we can use that as a unit conversion. So if I've got this 2.1 CFS and I'm trying to convert, if I'm going to get rid of CFS, is it going to go top or bottom? CFS is going to go on the bottom. I'm trying to bring in MGD, and using this conversion right here, I know there's 1.55 CFS for every 1 MGD. This is going to cancel out CFS, and we left with MGD. All right, so remember, this is like a shorthand version of this. So in order to get the answer now, I'm just going to do 2.1 divided by 1.55, and that gets me to 1.35 MGD. Remember, this shortcut only works because we already did all that math in the long version, and it's condensed nicely here. The older formula sheet from the state of California doesn't have it as clearly written as that, so the new one does. So just remember, if you're going to be taking your state exams, anytime really in 2025, early 2026, you should be given both formula sheets as the state transitions to the new formula sheet, which has that very clearly on the bottom. So there it is. There's the shortcut to go from CFS to MGD. Most often this is going to be applied to the pounds formula. We really want to get to MGD, and we're required to do that for the pounds formula.